What's up, guys? It's Din's back for the attack, but you already know that. And Happy New Year and Happy 2015. Now, I am so sorry that I have been inactive for a long time. What, a month or two? It doesn't matter. It should have never happened. But it happened. I got busy. What can you do? However, starting off 2015 right with videos, and I'll have a whole bunch of projects coming at you with more and more videos. So, stay tuned. But first thing I want to get off my chest was, so I want to have to do it later, was my top favorite Pokemon. Now, it was actually really hard to even choose my favorites. It's not like I love all of them, but I love a good number of them. So I was like, who should make the list, who shouldn't? And I had a list of 10, so I expanded it to 20. Hope you guys don't mind. So here's my top 10, 20 favorite Pokemon. Now, the only one thing I have to say is, this list isn't in order. I would have to kill myself to put this list in order. And I don't feel like dying. So it'll be 20 Pokemon. They're out of order. Well, not even out of order. They're not in any particular order. But, I'll just tell you my favorites, why I like them, why I love them, and we're all going to have a good time. Now, let's kick off the list. First is going to have to be the Tortodile line. Now, the Tortodile line, I might as well get it out of the way. I pretty much think Tortodile, the whole Tortodile line, is my favorite Pokemon. It's just, I really, I don't know how to explain it. I just really like the Tortodile line. I love Totodile, Flozell, and Crocodile. And I'm like, shoot, they had actually a lot. That dude, when I first actually got him, this is actually a really amazing Pokemon. Even though he's in NU, he is a sweeper. All you need is one Swords Dance or one Dragon Dance, and he will sweep teams. And people, people just sleep on that. Don't know why he's in NU. Well, I can imagine why he's in NU, but that doesn't even matter. Also, he is the only 3-stage Pokemon. The only 3-stage Pokemon that I like each of his evolutions. We currently have 721 Pokemon, and he's the only 3-stage Pokemon where I like all of his evolutions. That's a lot. And last but not least, if Pokemon were real, this guy would be on my squad. Which, basically, he'll be on my team if Pokemon was real. And now we have Ivysaur, not Bulbasaur, not Venusaur, but just Ivysaur, because he's just a cool grass type in my opinion. He is one step cooler than Bulbasaur, which Bulbasaur's not really cool. It looks like a little baby, but he's just the mature version of this man is grown. But then he's not a Venusaur, because I don't like Venusaurs. It's just Pokemon Stadium, those red eyes, it just really got me the wrong way. It's ugly. So I just really like Ivysaur. I don't know why I love Ivysaur. And then on top of that, my love for him just grew a notch better from Project M, which, he's actually a really good character in Project M. So whenever I do catch a Bulbasaur, I always evolve him and just Everstone him, because Ivysaur. And the Charmander line. Now, before you hate on me, blah blah, look. Everybody loves Charizard. Everybody loves the Charizard line. And if you don't love the Charizard line, you probably don't love it because everybody loves it. That's the only reason I see. I'm like, there could be other reasons too, but that's just the main reason. You don't like him, it's probably because he's too popular. And he's not a bad Pokemon. And plus, being orange, which is my favorite color, doesn't hurt his chances with me. Alright. Now it's Marowak. Why Marowak? Because as soon as Cubone, because everybody see Cubone as that little baby sad Pokemon, but as soon as he evolved into a Marowak, this man becomes a thug. The bone fused with his head. Now he just got this head bone thingy, and he just looks so cool and so bad, and he's like ready to take people out with his bone at his side, acting like he's a sword, swinging that thing around, clocking people, hitting with a bone club, coming up with a boner ring. I'm just like, he's just a real step up from Cubone, and he's actually not a bad Pokemon. I just really love him. Now, Dragonite. Dragonite's actually my favorite dragon type Pokemon. My favorite. It's just, when I was younger, I just had to work so hard to get Dragonite, and Dragonite always came through for me. Even to this day, Dragonite always just comes through with me, and just personally, I like him better than Salamence, but you know, I'm not gonna go into that. But you know, Dragonite is just so amazing, and then he has a cool design and cool colors, and he just looks so calm and so peaceful. Looks like you could just hug him, but then he's gonna come around and just body slam your whole family. That's Dragonite. Girafarig. Now, it's actually a really, I just like this Pokemon. It has a cool design. I'm like, that little chain chomp for a tail. It's actually really not that bad at all. And in Johto, well, he was my psychic type, or she. Mine was a girl. She was my psychic type of the team. And when you think about it, normal psychic is a good typing. It's a really good typing. Because it's immune to ghost, so that's one of the psychic weakness gone. I'm like, you don't get resistance to fighting, but it's still psychic type, so it'll still hit you with the fighting type. So what is it weak to now? Dark, Bug, and that's it, I believe. Dark and Bug, right? Yeah, it's just weak to Dark and Bug, and that's not bad at all, especially for what it could do. Personally, it needs a Mega. I'm like, come on, make that chain chomp grow out and just give him power. It needs a Mega. And I just really like Girafarig. Even in middle school, I had a battle with one of my best friends. It really came down to the wire. I'm like, Girafarig lost, but Girafarig is what's wiped out his whole team. And it just really got me through, and I just love Girafarig. And fun fact, it's the name Girafarig is actually a palindrome, so it's spelled the same forwards and backwards. I didn't know that when I first got it. It's not like I recently found out, but you know, a little thing throwing. The Zigzagoon line. Zigzagoon and Linoon, literally my favorite rodent Pokemon. You know, because you know that first starter Pokemon in every route, you get your little rodents. I love this rodent Pokemon. It's cute, it's cool, and it's fucking good. It comes in for the clutch every single time, because this thing's just so fast, so unexpected, and it actually could do some damage. And if Pokemon was real, this thing will be on my squad. It will be on my team if Pokemon was real. It's just Linoon. It's just so good, and just people like, you don't know how good this thing is, especially mine. I actually have a really good Linoon. You just don't know how good this thing is. Agron is actually my favorite steel type. I say this because when I was younger, the first game I played was actually Ruby and Sapphire. And well, it wasn't even mine, it was my cousin's. I played his Sapphire. And when I played his Sapphire, he had this thing in his party called a Lairon. So, you know, I was just playing it, you know, on Wrong Car Ride whenever he let me play it. I was just playing it. And this thing, I'm like, it wasn't that powerful, but it was actually just cool looking to me. But out of nowhere, it just said, yo, Lairon's evolving. It finished evolving. I'm like, this thing is a giant dinosaur monster. And then throughout the whole game, he was a monster. He would never die. He would just take hits, and dish it out. Sometimes he did die because of fighting types, but you know, I didn't know that back then. But you know, I always had other things to deal with it. But I just love Agron. And it has a Mega now, and shoot, it actually makes it better, filter, and plus just steel. I really like Agron. Alright, now we got the electric line. Oh no, electrike? Yeah, electrike line. Now, electrike and manectrike, it's actually, well, first of all, they're cayenne. You know, sorry, I always say it wrong. I think it's cyan. But they are cayenne, which is actually one of my favorite colors. And also, in my opinion, he's like the oddball in the K9 group. Because, you know, you got the K9s, you got the Dark Mightyena, the Fire type Arcanine, the Dark Fire Houndoom, and then you just got the Electric type Manectrike. And I'm like, it's just so cool. To me, it just looks so cool, and to me, it was just satisfying to use. I always used it back in the day. I always used it in 5th gen and in 4th gen. I'm like, I used it before it even had a Mega. I loved it before it even had a Mega. and he's basically my favorite electric type. I have one more, and you know, shoot, I'm like, you'll find that later on the list, but it's just Manectric. Oh yeah, just one fact. He is the only wolf Pokemon in the entire Pokemon game. And before anyone asks, Mariana is a hyena. You know, hyena, Mariana. It's a hyena. Torkoal. Yes. No one actually was expecting this. Well, I wasn't even expecting it. Why did I even add this thing? Oh yeah, that's right. The anime. This has to be like the only Pokemon I love it because of the anime. It is a fire turtle. And it's just really cool, and it's just the anime. The anime made me love it, so I use it, and since because of the anime, it's actually not even that bad to use. It's just Weasel line. The Weasel and Flozell looks incredible, pretty darn. They are really fast. They hit hard. They're little sea weasel otters, and they're orange. Not much to say, except they're actually pretty cool. Zekrom, the king of lightning, well, in my opinion. He is actually my favorite legendary. Just Zekrom, not Kyurem Black, just Zekrom. He's actually the reason why I picked up the white version, because you know, white version, black legendary, vice versa, and you know, Black 2 they sorted out, so I got Black 2. Well, actually, I actually never got Black 2, but I would have if I had the money. But I didn't, but I would have. It was all because of Zekrom. And that motor energy tail he has is able to power a city. That motorized tail, it's so amazing. Heliostic. Heliostic is just a cool design for a lizard. It has a little flares around its neck whenever it attacks. It's just really cool lizard in my opinion. And also, because of its abilities, Dry Skin, Solar Power, and Sand Veil, it's actually good on any weather team. Well, besides Hail, but who really uses Hail teams anymore? So every weather team, well, mostly every weather team, this thing actually got your back. So you know, ever make a weather team, I'm gonna grab Helioslick. The Tyrunt line. I like dinosaurs. I really like dinosaurs. Well, not too much, but I like dinosaurs. They give you a T-Rex, and I love Tyrunt. And Tyrantrum too. Now, I didn't even choose them in my playthrough of X and Y. I choose Auroras and Amora. But I'm like, it's just, he's still really cool to look at. And speaking of him, I got a kind of funny story where my mom is actually she's just the reincarnation of a Tyrantrum. My mom is a Tyrantrum. Literally down to the ability, the look, the freaking cry, it's everything. It's my mom. So I just called mine Mother. Quilava and Typhlosion. Cool Badger, Weasel, Fire types. I don't really like Cyndaquil, but I love Quilava and Typhlosion. Because of design, because of cream colored fur on top of blue fur, or navy blue fur. It's just, yeah, yes. Furry destruction. It's just furry destruction. And if Pokeball was real, Typhlosion and or Quilava, whoa, they both can be on my squad. Sylveon, literally my favorite evolution. I wouldn't say favorite evolution now, but I'm like, I don't even like Eevee a whole lot. It's not like I hate the Eevees, but I actually never found one that I clung on to until 6th gen when we got Sylveon, because it's really cool design in my opinion. It's bows and it's ribbon like appendages, and it's pink, and it's just pupilless eyes. It's just really cool, and the cry is just a screams fairy type. It's super hella useful, and to me, it's actually one of the best fairy types. Period. I don't think they're gonna make a better fairy type better than Sylveon. Unless they become a fairy steel type, because I want to see a fairy steel type. That would be cool as hell. The Growlithe line. Growlithe and Arcanine, giant lovable dogs, and they're orange, and they're fire. Well, I'm like, fire's not even my favorite type, but it's just so cool, these giant orange dogs, and that's it. That's literally the only reason. Survivor. Now, I don't care much for poison types, or snakes for that matter, but this one, I don't know. I just clung on to this one, because on top of its head, it looks like a crown. It has a tail blade, and it has a tail blade. There's a blade on this thing's tail. Imagine a snake just chasing you with a blade on its tail, ready to stab you. And it's a poison type, so if it stabs you, you're gonna get poisoned, you're gonna die from the inside out, you're not gonna have a good time. I can assure you. I don't even see why this thing even fights with Zangoose anymore, because it has a tail blade. Slice, slice, done. Last but not least, Electros. Now, Electros, while I was talking about Manectrite, it's my other top favorite electric type. Why? He's an electric type with Levitate. Back in 5th gen, this blew my mind. Because electric type only has one weakness. Ground. Levitate. Immune. It really just suits my battling style, because in 5th gen, that's when I start actually battling for real. You know, I start battling friends, I start caring about battles and Pokemon I had on my team. And to me, my style back in 5th gen was cover my weakness as much as possible. And when Sableye wouldn't cut it, because you know, back in 5th gen, Sableye didn't have anything super effective, him and Spiritomb, I saw Electros and I was like, wow. It actually had good moves, and it had a good coverage of moves, and I'm like, I threw anything on it, like Dragon Claw and freaking Discharge, because you know, back in those days, we didn't know most about EV training, we didn't know about stab, we just knew battle, win, crush your enemies, and it was actually a really fun time back there. So Electros actually holds a lot of freaking memories for me. He does. And that's it for my list. Now, if you enjoy my list, please leave a like. If you're waiting for new upcoming videos, oh god, I'm just stuttering over all my words. Please hit the subscribe button. And here's just one thing I want you guys to comment about. I don't want you to leave your favorite Pokemons in the comment section below. What I want you to do is tell me, what is your favorite least common Pokemon? And like, you've seen some of mine. I like Girafarig and stuff like that. So what are your favorite Pokemon that you know aren't that common? Let me know. And I've been Dims, and wow, I actually messed up on that. I'm not re-recording. I'm not re-recording that. Oh well, I've been Dims, and I'll catch y'all later.